Alright, still setting things up here. I think I'm gonna do more of these lives. Let's see. I guess I'll just start. Can't really see if anybody's in or not. Making some rhyolite spear points for a friend and subscriber. Then I'm gonna try some larger blades. You guys can let me know how the is it lagging at all? Now I got this ridge here with some Cortex. I'm gonna try to get a flake right there. Ground this edge. I'm gonna hit in. Let's see. Get good angles here so you can see. This stuff is it is tougher than flint to run flakes on. So we'll just do our best with it. I'm gonna try to keep it about that size for a bigger spear point for him. Just see if I could keep this together. Ouch. Stabbed. Thin it. Stuff does like to hang up a bunch. Put the camera down a little bit. Flake, flake, flake. All right. It is a nice day today. There we go. Nice. Flatten that out a bunch. On this kind of rhyolite, I find that you have to hit extremely hard to thin it. I'm gonna break this live up into sections, I think, and upload it, because during the live, what happens is you have the live stream, and while the live is going, it shows it to people. It shoots it out so people could see. But then once you end the live, it stops showing it for the most part. So what I like to do is cut up the live stream into episodes, and like I'll do a rhyolite episode, and then I have some pretty big blocks of flint pretty big blocks that I'm going to try to work into bigger blades. I have 2 with me right now that are pretty big, heavy, really dense Norman skill chert. And I picked up stuff's called moonstone, and I'm going to try to use this one as a hammerstone until it breaks, and then I'll nap it. For now, I'll start on indirect. I can't really see my screen. There we go. You can see my whole flint pile right there. All right. Just a bigger copper billet to strike. Still not really all too great at these rhyolites. Still have a problem thinning them. And I've been kind of napping a bunch of it too, and I'm just not getting used to it. Don't know what the trick is with this stuff in particular. Trying to keep it fairly big. That took a nice flake. Just can't get it to really fly. Don't know what I'm doing wrong. If I do that, it goes, but the indirect, it won't go. I don't know. I know I'm kind of just talking to myself. It's early. This ain't my usual upload time. But people will be able to see this throughout the day and all that. So just talk to myself in the meantime. Once I get the biface down, the indirect does work on it. It's just not as good as flint. I mean, even like raw Texas will shoot flakes with indirect, but this stuff just doesn't. And I wonder on these artifacts made from this North Carolina stuff, if they were thicker than the average artifact, or just not as well made, or maybe they were better made. I don't know. Let's see, do I have a little billet? I do have a little billet, tiny billet. Let's see how that works. I'm gonna try right in the base to try to thin some of this. Yeah, that worked. All right. See people popping in and out, so if you have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to chime in. A lot of this seems to be more of an angle game than platform prep. Seems to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not getting these platforms right. I don't know, man. Such a hard time with this stuff. The black rhyolite I do okay on. This green rhyolite, not so much. Yeah, that's hanging up in the middle. Right there. Try to come in from the other side, but I don't know, some of these I just give up on. So by the time I get it thinned, it's down to, I blew right through that step there. By the time I get it thinned down, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Man, it stinks. I hate these freaking hinges, man. See, I thought this was going to be a decently big spear point, and it's not because of this step. And I can't get it. Damn. Yeah. That is not friendly. Not friendly. See that mess in there? Both sides. Ooh, I think I got it. I did. Check it out. See that whole mess? Cleaned it. That's pretty much a first for me on this stuff. And the problem is, it's not going to be as big as I wanted it to be, but it's coming out okay. Taking out giant chunks too. And it's crooked. If anybody has any tips on this stuff, like, I do not know how to nap this North Carolina rhyolite. Trying for a few years now to at least make it decent, and it comes out all stepped and hinged and terrible. Just the green stuff, not the black rhyolite. The green rhyolite is what I have a problem with. Just can't get these flakes to go the way I want them to. A lot of trouble. That kind of fixed my issue there. All right, not too bad. It's better than I usually do on this stuff. I guess I'll shape it with the pressure flaker. Left some of my leather outside and it's gone stiff. So I'm curious about trying the caribou on it. Yeah, that's hard, man. The caribou antler. Copper is much better. As expected. So now I got a giant curve in this. See if I could get rid of the curve. I'm going to try to take some flakes off this side here. Working better than I thought it would. Nice. Okay. Nice. All right, I'm not going to push my luck with this. I'm going to flake it and add this to the box of finished points for my buddy. Not really too sure what he's doing with them, but he wants rhyolite. It's a woodpecker above me. Hear that? Maybe this spot here. Some spots that I would like to clean up a little bit. We'll see. Nice. Yeah, I think he'll be happy with this. That woodpecker is cool. He's right above me, I hear him. I'm not gonna push it with this because he wanted bigger spear points. It's not coming out all too bad. Pretty good for green rhyolite for me. Look at that. I'm gonna try to thin from the base a little bit, just one spot at an angle. Didn't go far enough. Oh, I wasn't able to hold it together, but you can see the remnants of it there. Little thinning flake. And a couple more spots on this piece. Man, I am unsure of this stuff. All right. So I'm gonna notch it for him. I just want to straighten the spot, and having some problems with it. That worked. Okay. That worked really well. Wow. Okay. All right. So there's the rhyolite, and yeah, I'm just gonna notch this. I'll notch this one, and then I'll start working on the bigger blade. See if I can make one or not. Ah, man. That is tough. Tough. If anyone has any tips on this green rhyolite, let me know, because I've just been having issue with it for a long time, and I get a lot of requests to do the green rhyolite, and I feel like sometimes I'm just not doing this stuff right. Trying to make sure I flake it on camera too, that's the hard part. Try to clean it up a little bit more. Maybe just sharpen it a little bit more too. Alright, this spot I have a little bit of a hinge in there, so I'm going to try to indirect that out. We've got one shot. If it doesn't work, the hinge stays in. Yeah, that got rid of it. Cool. There we go. It's not as good as I want it. It's just not. Alright. Gonna make this notch a little deeper. If I can. There we go. That popped out a nice flake. All right. All right. So that is point number 1, green rhyolite. Yeah, I think that's good. Could thin it more, but I'm not pushing myself. I'm not pushing it with this stuff. Just making the tip sharp. All right. I'm gonna screw this up if I keep going. Got one thick spot right there I want to get rid of. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. Lightly tap. Where did the big billet go? There it is. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not doing anymore. call that quits. All right. North Carolina rhyolite. Archaic style point. Call that one done. All right. Getting hot. All right, so I got these 2 big blocks of flint. I don't know what kind of quality this is in or how it looks inside. Here looks okay. Here looks okay, but this stuff does not look so good here or here. So I'm just gonna try to start shooting this away and making a large blade. Maybe I'll hammerstone it. Chalky. There's a lot of shale in there. So we gotta get around this shale. See how it's like slate? I mean, you can knap that, but it's not the best. Keep doing it with the moonstone hammerstone. That broke. All right, so it is really good inside. It's really good inside. Just got to get around this shale. And I'm not used to using hammerstones, so get some practice. Did I get past it? Yes. Get rid of all this crud. Some of this is good, this is not good. You see this flake? You see how it's all dry and shale-like and slate-like as compared to, even though it has cracks in it, shiny? This is good, that other piece is not. If you look inside here, you can see what I'm working with. I'm just not hitting good today. A lot of the stuff here, like this is good. In the bottom is a lot of shale. And I'm trying to get rid of the shale to get to the good flint in the middle and make a decent long knife blade or bigger spear point. And this is usually what I have to work with when I'm doing that. You'd see how cruddy that is. And I'm using a moonstone hammerstone just as a test. Seems to be working pretty good. I'm not used to using hammerstones at all, so just getting a little bit of practice here. All right. So, still got a lot to get rid of. Looks like I might be able to get a nice blade out of this if I get rid of some of this inclusions. I'm not going to use the hammerstone because it's too, like I just overshot the heck out of that thing. So this piece here, I don't know if you could see. It's got inclusions running through, so I'm going to knock this piece off. Try to preserve as much as I can. Work around the damage. And get rid of all those freeze cracks and lines and stuff. Alright. It's some nice stuff, man. Once you get around the garbage. There appears to be a lot of garbage in this piece, but that is okay. Nice big flakes. All right. It's a crack going all the way through, just about. Get rid of it. There we go. So you can see, this is a perfect example. Get that shadow out of the way. There's flint on this side, and on that side, it's shale. So you want to get rid of the shale. And this is New York rock. This is Norman Skill chert. It's been a while since I've made a big blade, so I'm hoping to keep this together. There is a lot of damage in it, though. I don't know if it's going to be possible. We'll try. We'll try our best. With this stuff, working around the damage is the hardest part for me, at least. Trying to predict where this shale ends and where the flint begins is also pretty tough. Still a lot of crud in there. And I'm hitting pretty hard, so I'm fairly certain this is going to snap. But we're going to keep trying anyway. Nice big flakes. You can see the flint is good here. It's not good here. Just do our best. Getting there. So many cracks running through, I'm afraid to even hit hard, but you have to hit hard to get rid of this stuff. There we go. Got rid of more of it. Now I'm gonna lower this to get rid of this turtle back here. A few hits. And I found with this stuff, this is like really high quality to get past the garbage. I found it that if you hit it at like an angle, like instead of just straight across, if you come in at an angle, you're less likely to break this particular material. Got a lot of junk to work around here, and it's best to take your time. You can see the flaws in it on this side. There's cracks running across, inclusions. And on that side, it's just a nightmare. See this? Sometimes you could come in from the other way. Sometimes, not all the time. Just try your best to support everything when you're working. To get off something that big, you just gotta hope you don't blow it off, really. There we go. All right, you see that? Got a lot of it. Past the hardest part now. All right. So for people who just came in, the first thing I worked on was North Carolina rhyolite, a bigger flake of it for a subscriber who wanted a box of rhyolite points, bigger spear points. That's what I came up with. Pretty good. Pretty good for that stuff, at least. In this, I'm just trying to make a knife blade. It's been a bit since I've been able to get this stuff to all hold together for knife blades. All right. Here's the shale stuff. Got rid of a lot of it. Got a problem there. Might be able to just kind of clean it up like that. All right. I'm gonna lose a lot of size trying to get rid of all this junk in it. If I don't snap it in half entirely, because like I said, you gotta hit hard to get rid of this shale crud. Nope. Cleaning up. When you have this much damage in it, you don't want to go too thin. Definitely not. I was hoping this was a little bit more of a pure piece, but grabbing from the surface of creeks and stuff like that is not this is gonna be a problem. All right, here we go. Got rid of a lot of it. Right there. Now we're at the flint and shale, where the flint and shale meet. You can see there's a layer here of crud. And then there's defects in the stone down here that I have to work around. I'm gonna try to zigzag the other side to get rid of that big thick spot here. And I'm using a pretty light copper billet to try to make the thing not snap. Hanging up in there. A little bit of a defect. All right. See that big bump here? Trying to get rid of that without snapping it. Oh, God. Nerve-wracking. All right. That traveled up the turtle back, but it kind of stopped. There's a defect there. There goes the defect. Wow. Nice. It's a lot of damage at the tip. There's a big crack going right through here. Damn, man. Do you see it? Right here? Finger just got caught on it. Goes all the way through. All right, we'll see what we can do. It's gonna snap. All right, we flatten that out. If I don't thin it anymore right there, might be able to save the blade. Cannot go thin on this. It's too many. I'm gonna have to snap the base. There's a crack here and a crack here. Damn, damn, damn. Can't do anything more with this spot right here because of that crack running through. So I'll just start working on the tip then and shaping the base. If you haft it and you glue it along that seam, crystal imperfection, crack, whatever you want to call it, it'll hold together and be sturdy enough to use. Not a good sound. All right. Let's try to fix the base then. The tip. So for that, I'm going to use indirect to clean up the tip. Really difficult spot here. And what doesn't help is that whole tip is shale. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. Tip of the knife is shale. Base of the knife has cracks going through. This is kind of how I made the wooded beardsman's knife out of a Coastal Plains, Georgia chert. It had the same kind of problems. And he wanted in his words, a big caveman knife. His is about that long, and it's about that thick. Crack near the tip too, that's terrible. Shut up, dog. Screwing me up. here's the cracks. All right. The tip is not going to be pretty because it's shell. Yeah, no, can't get past that shell. Alright, so just make it usable knife then. Thin the base a little. This is one of the most challenging pieces I've ever worked on. So many problems in this stone. It's ridiculous. Problem there. Thing is, there's a crack here and a crack here. So what do you do in that situation besides throw it away? And if you're trying to preserve resources that you carried with you, you're not going to want to throw it away, you're going to want to use it. Let's work on the base a little bit. Lightly. Carefully. This is really drying out my hand, this material. These cracks are not good. See it? Right there. Runs all the way across. And there's a one right above it here that runs all the way across. I'm scared of this. Yeah, I'm too scared to hit it. Can't get past that shell. Hope this don't break. It might. Come on. All right. Trying to thin it near the tip a little bit, and it's giving me a heck of a problem. There's crystals in there. I'm gonna try one more from this side to get rid of this junk. You can see there's junk in there. And if that don't work, I'm gonna have to leave that spot. Try my best. Might break it. We'll see. Nope. Ran right to the ridge and stopped. I could make it a smaller knife and get rid of the shell tip, but the shell tip is kind of cool. Let's try this. Spot with the damage. I'll try to indirect it. I'm gonna have a kind of weird, funky dagger. I don't like how this looks anymore. We'll see. I'll try this one spot. Kind of worked. A little bit. Man. All right. Let's finish this piece up because there is so much damage in it. So much freaking damage in it that it's barely worth working on here. But I wanted to show that you can get stuff from terrible rock if need be. Ouch. All right. I could get rid of all of this. Make it a long, thin dagger. Yeah, let's do that. It's working. Okay. Yikes. Try to go for a late paleo long point. See the flaking? Man. Careful, careful. Getting to the end of this here. Now I'm keeping in mind where those cracks are and I'm marking around them. And the spots that you see I left thick are where the cracks run through. And try to thin it a little more. Alright, that one worked. Crack is okay. Base has a lot of damage in it. So I'm going to pressure flake the base. To get the right shape here. I wonder if I could knock out this piece where the crack is. Wonder how it'll look. We'll give it a try. Just trying to thin it a little more, tiny bit. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna shape the rest of it with the pressure flaker. Maybe I could do it on my lap. been a while since I've done it lap napping. I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's see. Just straightening it, shaping it, getting rid of the curves. Keep it as a late paleo reproduction. Getting that shale off is the hardest part. As I'm shaping it, I'm sharpening it. I did not see any of these comments. Yeah, it's not the best rock, but around here this is what they had to work with, and a lot of the pieces did end up looking like this with cracks in it. Just thinning this section, cutting that off, make a long lance. Early archaic, late paleo style. Just try to shape the base a little more. My indirect nail is loose again. I just picked up new tools to be able to tighten it. Base is giving me a problem. Usually if the stone is more cooperative, it does not take me this long to make a decent knife blade or spear point, but this one has so many problems that I'm just trying to show workarounds. Getting there. Just really got to shape it a little better. And be careful of these cracks. Ooh. So what I'm doing there is just shaving the edges in with the flaker like this. And just kind of shaving it. This is one of the most difficult things I've ever done. Try to get the sunlight on that. Do have a little problem right there, but I'm going to leave that. And the base is a little too thick. For the base, just going to lightly indirect it. Very, very lightly, supporting as best as I can. Not too bad. I know this is a long one, but look at what I got out of junk stone. do like to show that it is possible to get nice points out of this stuff. I'm not going to call that an entirely paleo point, but you can see the flaking. Maybe early archaic, or early archaic. And just shaved the sides in just a little bit. Probably could go up a little bit higher. Just to give it more room when you heft it. All right. I think I'm not gonna mess with that anymore. So I don't know how long that is. Pretty long for such damaged rock. That looks nice, man. I like how that looks. Thin enough, with the exception of this one little bump. But that one little bump is holding everything together. Crack here, crack here. If you use this as a knife, it'll work fine. That will not break. If you throw it at a tree on a dart, throwing dart, that'll break. But, man, look at that. All right. Whew. It got hot. I had this other chunk of flint to try to make something out of, but I'm pretty beat. So I got that nice little point out of North Carolina rhyolite, and that nice point out of Norman Skilchert Creek cobble. Extremely damaged stone on this piece, at least. Trying to get the sunlight to there we go. All right, guys. I am, well, I got one more piece here. What is this? Oh, this is the other half. That split. Same rock. I'll work this on another live, I think. And then I got a bunch of these nice little flakes to make little hunting points with, stuff like that. All right, that's it for me. You guys have a good one. And hopefully it's nice like this wherever you guys are. Nice freaking day. All right, feel free to leave questions in the comments of this live. I'll answer it even after the live is over. And I hope you guys have a good one. See ya.